Alright, what is up guys? This is PVM Vertigo and welcome back to Kerbal Colonization, and today we have another silent episode. Mostly because I kind of recorded the last episode in bulk and I had too much leftover recording, and this is actually where we're going to go rescue our Gillycraft Explorer 3. Another thing is, I kind of edited episode 11 first before this because I didn't know I had so much extra footage. So that episode is done, I just got to get this one done now, so hopefully I'll release episode 11 a few days right after this because it's already done. Which is actually pretty convenient for you guys, I'd say. But yeah, here is the rescue craft, you know, standard stuff. We're going to be fast forwarding through this because we're just going to go out into solar orbit, grab the science and bring it back. That's all we're going to do this episode. And it's going to be good. Remember, the Gillycraft does have a lot of science, really. It's definitely going to be enough to research at least a few, maybe the 1, 2, possibly 3 tech tree nodes. So that'll be good. Get us on the right track for actually expanding our influence. Remember, that's exactly what we're trying to do. In this story, basically, the Kerbal Empire has unlimited resources. It's not career mode, it's just a science mode. And they want to expand their influence and generally just be on other planets and bodies. So we're going to try to colonize every part of our Kerbal system. That's our goal. You can see the effects for some reason are messing up on the side of Kerbal, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter that much, and it's loading in now a little bit. Kind of. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to be doing our burn here to actually go into interplanetary orbit. We're going to try meeting up with this spacecraft. So here we are, just kind of burning towards the maneuver node. That's all we have to do. Just keeping it simple. Let's see here. This is actually a modified version of the rescue vehicle we sent last time. It's basically the same thing, except this one actually has a parachute on it, so it can actually be recovered. Let's see. And well, our orbit's a little bit too inwards towards Kerbal, but that's okay. Because so is the Explorer 3's. We both have very awkward orbits, and it should be easy to match them. So we start messing with the maneuver node, trying to get an intercept very close, and we're getting closer still. Boom. This is the kind of intercept we want to have. Look at this. It's very close. It doesn't have to be too far or too close. It doesn't have to be within, like, 20 kilometers. It can be 1,000 kilometers away in interplanetary orbit. In Kerbal orbit, it should be within like 12 kilometers or so. But in solar orbit, you have all the time you need to, burn towards the other vessel. There's no real issue of approaching that far away. As long as it's kind of near it, and you can cancel your target velocity and actually make your orbit match it, it should be fine, no matter what. So we're coming up on the actual burn, and I actually got out of time warp there because Explorer 3 kind of ran out of water and food and oxygen. So we can basically assume that Bill or Jeb or whoever's on there they're pretty much just dead. So that's rest in peace for them. But their science is still alive. And I mean, I guess science can't die, but still. So yeah, not the next episode, but the episode after that, we're probably going to be going to other planetary bodies again with a new spacecraft. I'm going to rethink all the things we have made before, because we're going to try to research the 2.5 meter heat shield in order to actually use less delta V. Like, we had 4,000 delta V on the top stage of the Explorer 3, but it just couldn't go that many places just because it couldn't actually aerobrake. It would just fall apart in the atmosphere. So our goal is to actually make our crafts more efficient. That's basically what I'm saying. So we're going to redesign it. That's going to be pretty exciting. What's also exciting is the fact that our rescue vehicle is almost getting the separation burn, or the intercept burn, going here. Let's see. A few meters per second left. We should be fine. And I think this might be it here. Up. The maneuver nose twitching. Ah, that's close enough. And yeah, we do have intercept here. Look at that. So the next time that we come back to this spot, all we have to do is just burn retrograde on the target velocity. So yeah, that'll be fairly easy to do. I don't know why mech chip's all the way over there. So before actually canceling velocity, I try to do a more efficient way of approaching. I try to actually make the separation a little bit closer, the intercept closer, just because when we cancel our velocities, it'll be easier to actually approach on the second burn instead of like a third or fourth burn if we do this method. So we're trying to mess with the maneuver node. We actually made one, and this should get us to a nice separation that's closer than before, but it's not actually right on because that's very impossible. It takes a lot of delta V to actually do that from a far distance. It's impossible, at least with our supplies. So yeah, it's a very slow going burn here. Not sure why, probably just the thrust weight ratio being low. But nevertheless, we're in space. It doesn't matter how long it takes. As long as you burn and you throw matter out the other end, you're gonna still be accelerating. The only problem with thrust to weight ratio is if you're on land or on a planet. So like, if you have a thrust to weight ratio of like 0.25 and you have nuclear engines that are really efficient, it doesn't matter. It's still way better than like a mainsail on the back of a rocket, unless you're trying to lift that payload or something off a planet. That's the only issue with thrust to weight ratio. Efficiency is always more. It's always better than just raw power. So yeah, but it still takes a long time to burn. So we'll just watch the rest of it, because why not? This thing does have insane amounts of delta V though, which is pretty cool. And you can see us, we're kind of matching our orbit here. Matching it as close as possible. That was one of my goals. See right here. And we almost done here. And boom. But, why not just finish it off? And we actually turn really fast because we have those reaction wheels on the side, so that makes it able to turn faster, which is pretty cool. I find that nice. So yeah, now we're going to go into our second phase of intercept. So now we basically just switch over to target velocity, and once we get to our nice little intercept, I'll just cancel it out. That's all we gotta do. And I'm going to be canceling it out, burning. Just gotta get it to reach 0, and then I can burn on the pink icon, and then we should be good. I'll just burn towards it now. I can't actually see where it is. I gotta turn up. It's over there. We're actually fairly close. Separation is going way down, because once you burn towards it, if you have no other velocity, you're just going to be going towards it. It just makes sense. Like, let's see. You wouldn't think that in Kerbal Space Program, because if you ever burned at the ground in Kerbal Space Program, you don't actually go to the ground, you go faster. But that's because you're, in comparison to Kerbin, if you were to burn towards the ground, it wouldn't work because you're not at 0 velocity. If you're at 0 velocity, burning towards the ground will make you get there faster, obviously. But you have to burn retrograde first. So yeah, we're approaching fairly fast. And we'll be there very soon to actually get the signs. Let's see, what do we got here? I have to actually add radiators to these spacecrafts from now on. Oh my gosh, we're coming close. There's the Explorer 3. I was not prepared for this. Why does it keep... I don't know why it keeps on switching up a target, but that's really weird. Oh, that's because when I got there, it didn't set as a target. RIP. But, yeah. By the way, guys, this episode's going to be fairly short, just because I had some extra footage, and now that's all I have. 10 minutes or 15 minutes is a good length, I think. But, nevertheless, our goals are about to be achieved here, because we're really, really close to the Explorer 3, actually. We just need to cancel it out, and then Bob will, or whatever, whoever's piloting, can get out and generally just fly over there. There we go. And it's actually, Explorer 3 does look cool. Look at that. But we still, it still has not been able to fulfill its duties, so it'll have to be decommissioned. But look at all that science. That's a crazy amount of science. We're not just going to let that float in space forever. We need to return to Kerbal, so that's what we're going to do next. Luckily for us, we only had to do a small burn in order to actually return back to Kerbal. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do this small little burn. I mean, small is relative, but it takes barely any delta V to actually get back to Kerbal in this orbit. Not really sure why. It must be just so close. But here we go. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 600 meters per second delta V is, you would think it's a lot, but it's actually not due to the fact that we were just kind of, you usually need to have a lot more and able to, you know, get a nice angle on Kerbal, but we lucked out and we were able to get it on the first try, or the first orbit around, which, I mean, life support is an issue here too. You don't want to run out of that. Now remember, I did have a capsule packed in case whoever was piloting that was alive. Turns out he wasn't alive, so that's not really needed. But yeah, so far mission is successful. This is going pretty well. And pretty soon we'll be done with this burn and we'll be on a crash collision course with Kerbal, and it'll be so far so good, right? And hold on. This should be good? Question mark. And yeah, we are on the next orbit around. We'll basically be right into Kerbal. This is very good. I'll use the automatic warp because why not? So we end up in Kerbal's sphere of influence. Sorry if I pronounced that badly. It's kind of bad, but whatever. Burning like normal or an anti-normal in order to get ourselves basically crashing into the atmosphere. And yeah, this looks like a survivable impact, right? So here we go. Just burning normal right now. I'm not gonna use the maneuver though, because I don't. Who needs those, right? Checking up on our progress, and oh, we actually were gonna run into the moon there. Oddly enough. And here we are, coming down, coming down, coming down, and boom, right there. So yeah, we do have a parachute on the top of it, but funnily enough, I don't know if I have a decoupler on there, do I? I don't think I have a decoupler. Which makes this gonna be kind of, oh, look at that. Before, like right before we were launching our oh my gosh, up. We warped a little bit too far. We ended up in the atmosphere, and yeah, the spacecraft did not like it. We kind of just disintegrated over there, except for the capsule. The capsule almost blew up too, but that's okay. Actually, it's not okay because if the capsule would have blown up, our parachute would have blown up too. Not good. But at least we don't have that heavy spacecraft weighing us down now, right? So now when we land, we'll land slowly, but anyway, coming up in the end of the episode here. Thank you guys for watching so much. This short episode of Kerbal Colonization. I know it was very short, but that's okay. We did what we were supposed to do. We captured the science from Gilly, the Gilly spacecraft. That's all we wanted to do today. Stay tuned for the next episode because I worked really hard on the next episode. It has full sound. Don't worry about that, guys. It wasn't part of the mass recording project I did last week. That ended up with no sound. But yeah, an insider note, next episode will involve asteroids. So stay tuned for that. This is PVM Vertigo. Peace out.